firmly committed to securing the territorial integrity of our nation.
New push towards lifting Nigerians out of poverty as President Buhari inaugurates National Economic Council.
To contribute to the development of this sector locally in Nigeria.
More eyes on Nigeria. Investors across the globe declare interest in the nation's serene investment climate.
We will no longer cry for any insecurity.
Nigerian Army sets to launch locally manufactured combat vehicles. Plus, 82 suspects of Shella cult members apprehended by the police. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja, and Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun will join us later from our Kaduna Network Center. President Muhammadu Buhari has restated Nigeria's unwavering commitment towards supporting genuine efforts at re-establishing political stability in the neighboring Benin Republic. This was when he granted audience to the Beninois leader, President Patrice Talon. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
Nigeria and the Republic of Benin share a lot in common, including historical, cultural, and economic relations that predate colonialism. Although reasons for President Patrice Talon's visit were not made public, NTA News learned that it might not be unconnected with his desire towards enhancing this age-long relationship. During his meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, which lasted about 2 hours behind closed doors, areas of mutual interest between the two countries were discussed. The Nigerian leader emphasized the imperative of good neighborliness while pledging Nigeria's support towards ensuring that the West African neighbor remains politically stable for sustainable socio-economic development. President Talon, who came to power in April 2016, used the opportunity to congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari on his re-election and successful inauguration. The president's return to power, he emphasized, will not only benefit Nigeria more positively, but also the West African sub-region, as well as the entire continent. He briefed the Nigerian leader on the current political situation in his country and solicited for support. The Beninois leader has since left for his country. In a related development, President Muhammadu Buhari has received a high-powered Sudanese government delegation led by the head of the Security and Defense Committee, Lieutenant General Jamal Eddin Umar Ibrahim. The delegation briefed the president behind closed doors on the political situation in Sudan, the northeastern African nation. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Members of the National Economic Council have been tasked to fashion effective strategies towards lifting less privileged Nigerians out of poverty and securing the nation's future for sustainable growth and development. President Muhammadu Buhari, who threw the challenge while inaugurating the National Economic Council, said paying special attention to issues of security, education, health and agriculture is critical towards guaranteeing a peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. Here again is State House correspondent Adamu Sambu with the details.
With the Vice President as chairman, the National Economic Council, which has the 36 state governors and some key federal government appointees as members, has a constitutional mandate to advise the President on economic policies, planning and implementation strategies for sustainable growth and development of the country. Inaugurating the council, President Muhammadu Buhari told the members that his administration will continue to rate security of lives and property as top priority of the next level agenda.
We are firmly committed to securing the territorial integrity of our nation while confronting the remnants of terrorists, bandits, and other criminals across the country. There must be collective and deliberate efforts by all to improve the security of lives and properties across the country. You can definitely make a difference, not just by assisting the security agencies in your respective states, but also by keenly pursuing policies and programs that forestall communal, tribal, religious, and societal conflicts.
The president also tasked the state governors to take very seriously and enforce vigorously the constitutional provisions on free, compulsory, and quality basic education so that the future leaders can be protected from the evil influences that assail idle hands and idle minds.
I therefore think every governor here should make a firm commitment to be personally involved in ensuring that every child of school age actually goes to school throughout the crucial 9 years of basic education. It is indeed a crime for any parent to keep his child out of school for this period. On our own part, the federal government will strive to extend the school feeding program, which will not only encourage school enrollment but also enhance the health and learning capabilities of pupils.
On healthcare, President Buhari said it is in the collective interest of all Nigerians that every citizen gets at least minimal access to primary, preventive, and emergency care, as well as doing more towards accelerating agricultural revolution as a viable development enterprise.
The federal government in the last 4 years has demonstrated unwavering inclusiveness in dealing with every state, notwithstanding the political leaning of the governor or the predominant party in power at the state level. I want this to be your model at the state level. No matter which party we belong to, let us shun divisive policies and join hands together for the upliftment of our people.
While restating the high expectations on the council to take Nigeria to the next level, despite the monumental challenges, the president is, however, convinced that the members are more than equal to the task.
As Your Excellency directed at the meeting of the 7th of June with state governors, we are at today's meeting focusing on the crucial issue of national security, and we will be forwarding the outcome of our deliberations to you very shortly.
The National Economic Council had, in the last 4 years, met 38 times and came up with more than 170 resolutions towards addressing issues of national concern. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Nigerian economy now looks promising, and investors across the globe are seeing the country as a fertile land for investment, so none want to be left out. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, while receiving a delegation of French business community, assured investors of a better deal from government, its agencies, and the good people of the country. State House correspondent Jideoni Fadi has the details.
Considered as the largest economy on the African continent and one of the fast emerging economies of the world, Nigeria holds the ace in terms of investors' destination. And the reason for this is not far-fetched. One of those is the enabling business environment.
Tremendous dynamism of the people, of the Nigerian economy. The Vice President, His Excellency, talked about the recession, which is over. Now Nigeria is back to growth.
The country is gradually climbing the ladder in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business global ranking. The country is equally opening its doors to more local and foreign investors.
For my company is to better understand all about the market, not only the consumers, but the regulation, the right people to know, to facilitate the local settlements of a potential facility, and to put a highlight on the contribution, what is possible for France to do in the dairy sector, and to contribute to the development of this sector locally in Nigeria.
This delegation, made up of members of Franco-Nigerian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is being led to the presidential villa by Nigeria's ambassador to France, Modupe Irele, who says the mission is to strengthen the economic relationship between Nigeria and France and to make them understand the processes for setting up business in Nigeria.
Nigeria's initiative of ease of doing business is part of understanding the agencies that are involved, the processes that are involved, and the opportunities and also to a large extent the responsibilities. It's a two-way relationship. France, Nigeria, Nigeria, France. And this cannot be done with one party very far away. So we've brought them here to see the lay of the land themselves, to meet the key players, and also to get to know Nigerians, business people themselves.
So much for this, and the number is still counting. In the State House, Jude Onifade, NT News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Mr. Mele Kolokyari as the new Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. In a statement by the NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs, Mr. Ndu Gamadu, President Buhari also appointed 7 new Chief Operating Officers. Until his new appointment, Kyari, a geologist, was Group General Manager, Crude Oil Marketing Division of the NNPC, and also doubled as Nigeria's national representative to the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, since May 2018. Meanwhile, President Buhari has directed that the new GMD and the newly appointed Chief Operating Officers work with the current occupiers of the various offices till 7th July 2019 towards a smooth transition on 8th July 2019 when their appointments would take effect. However, the appointment of Mr. Farouk Garba Saeed from the Northwest, who is replacing a retiring Chief Operating Officer, is effective from 28th June 2019. In the meantime, the Office of the President of the Senate has reviewed the appointment of Festus Adedayo as Special Advisor Media and Publicity to the President of the Senate and decided to rescind its decision on the appointment. A statement by the Special Assistant to the Senate President on Media and Publicity, Mohammed Isa, also wishes Adedayo the best in his future endeavors. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Erewa, has urged Nigerians living in other countries to desist from tarnishing the image of Nigeria and respect the laws of their countries of residence. She said this during a courtesy visit to the Ghanaian and Togolese embassies in Nigeria in relation to reported maltreatment of Nigerians in these countries. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
While the dust raised by the restriction order issued Nigerian traders in Ghana is still settling, the recent closure of shops belonging to Nigerians is again generating reactions. More disturbing is the series of kidnappings in the country, speculated to have been carried out by Nigerians. This worrisome narrative has prompted the chairman and CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, to pay a visit to the Ghanaian High Commission to express displeasure about the development.
We know that your Inspector General has stepped in and your government has stepped in, but we need your assurances from Nigerian traders, in particular in Ghana, on their protection.
As we speak, some Ghanaians who were involved in this act have been arrested and they will be placed before court because it is a matter which the president of Ghana will not allow to happen to dampen the spirit of excellent relation that exists between Ghana and Nigeria.
Though the shops have been opened and Nigerian traders have resumed business activities, in the same vein, the chairman and CEO of NIDCOM also visited the Togolese embassy in Nigeria in reaction to a Nigerian physically abused by Togolese citizens over allegations of rape by a lady.
I'm deeply concerned, and I'm assured that the Togolese appropriate authorities will make sure that something not occur again.
In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved financial support for the voluntary repatriation of 4,000 Nigerian refugees who sought refuge in Cameroon during the Boko Haram crisis. This was contained in the message of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, delivered by a director in his office, Festus Daudu, at the event marking the 2019 World Refugees Day in Abuja. Olabode Arewa has more.
16-year-old Emmanuel Cho and his 13-year-old brother Kelsey left their sick mother behind in Cameroon to seek refuge in Nigeria. They are among many other refugees who fled from conflict in their home countries. The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has registered over 35,000 Cameroonian refugees, with 2.1 million internally displaced persons in Nigeria.
The government of Nigeria is giving them all the support that they desire in areas of food, non-food items, in areas of health, in areas of shelter, in areas of livelihood support.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, represented at the event, says the federal government is collaborating with the ECOWAS Commission to help IDPs reintegrate with their former livelihoods and bring back Nigerian refugees in other countries.
The federal government of Nigeria has been and will continue to be in the vanguard for the protection of refugees and other people of concern globally.
The World Refugee Day was also marked with a visit to an internally displaced persons camp here in Abuja. The theme for this year's commemoration, which is Step with Refugees, aligns with the African Union's vision. In Abuja, Olabodarewa, NTA News.
Well, irregular migration is assuming a peculiar challenge, not just for Nigeria, but the entire world. Now, having identified this dynamic problem and the danger it poses to national security and development in the country, the Institute for Security Studies has organized a seminar for security experts and participants of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 12, 2019, to crisscross ideas towards addressing the matter. Joseph Johnson reports.
Irregular migration has been a recurring issue in the news lately, but it is not a strange occurrence. In fact, it has been a hard nut to crack across the globe for decades, given the dynamism of conformity of migrants. Much has also been said about the seasonal movement of people with their cattle or other grazing animals to new pastures. Despite several talks, tales of cattle rustling, banditry and irregular migration, many say, are relatively still on the increase. The Institute for Security Studies is stepping up to combat the challenge. It is for this reason and more that Mr. Usman Umar is joining his 62 colleagues in this seminar on transhumance and international migration, challenges for national security and development in Nigeria.
We are very optimistic that the government will look at it. It will not be an effort in futility.
Discussants have been chosen to make this seminar a worthwhile experience.
We have sufficient policy decision. It is the implementation that is where the problem lies.
It is a fact that whatever affects Nigeria systemically has a multiplier effect on her neighbors and indeed the entire ECOWAS. Having that in mind, proffering solutions to ameliorate the existing challenges is a task the security experts say must be done. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
And there's more news just ahead after this time out. Stay with us.
The Accountant General of the Federation hereby invites all Directors of Finance and Accounts, Directors of Internal Audit and all MDAs, all Commissioners of Finance of 36 states and FCT, all Accountants General of 36 states and FCT, all revenue generating agencies and other relevant stakeholders to a 3-day National Treasury Workshop. Theme: Accountability and Transparency as Catalyst to Economic Recovery, the role of the Treasury and other stakeholders. Special guest of honor, Honorable Minister of Finance. Chief host, His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, OFR, Governor, Kano State. Royal Father of the Day, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, Emir of Kano. Date, Monday 24th to Wednesday 26th June 2019. Monday 24th June. Arrival and registration of participants and other formalities. Time, 12 noon to 6 p.m. Tuesday 25th June 2019. Workshop activities. Time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday 26th June 2019. Paper presentation session and closing ceremony. Time, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Venue, Coronation Hall, Kano, Kano State. Ahmed Idris, FCNA, Accountant General of the Federation, announcer.
They are there at the crack of dawn, They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
Enjoy the best of African football as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Thanks for staying with us. The 39th Ordinary Meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff has ended in Abuja with recommendations on how to tackle security issues threatening peace and stability of ECOWAS member states. At the end of the two-day meeting, Chiefs of Defense Staff across the sub-region promised to foster harmonious relationship and a renewed commitment to the cause of protecting lives and property within the ECOWAS sub-region. Olusheye Adiagbu has details.
Combating the challenges of insecurity and terrorism across the economic community of West African states formed the crux of deliberations at the 39th Ordinary Meetings of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff. The meeting, which lasted for 2 days, with heads of security operatives within the sub-region in attendance, did not only review the security challenges, but also preferred solutions. Chairman of the Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff, ECOWAS member states, General Bayomi Olonishakin, after a closed-door meeting with the members of the committee, presented the recommendations while advising participants to communicate the submissions to the appropriate quarters for onward implementation.
The main essence of our discussion is to make appropriate recommendations to our political leaders, the authority of head of state and government. I need to encourage my colleagues, the Chief of Defense Staff, to adequately brief your respective principals on the decision reached during our deliberations. This will assist the political leadership in their deliberations and decisions that will be taken during their meeting.
All the speakers at the closing event called for a continuous harmonization of strategies with the engagement of collective expertise by all stakeholders in tackling security challenges in the sub-region. From the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.